Every day you walk past the construction site of your own life. Sometimes you stop and look at what's being built there. Sometimes you don't. But whether you pay attention or not, construction continues. Choices become habits. Habits become patterns. Patterns become the architecture of who you're becoming. The question isn't whether you're building a future self. You are. The question is whether you're building with a blueprint, or just letting whoever shows up at the site decide what to build next. Most people live their entire lives as construction sites without architects. Random workers show up. Fear drives a stake here. Other people's opinions pour concrete there. Society's expectations frame a wall you never designed. You're about to change that. The abandoned site. Look closely at your construction site right now. You'll notice something strange. There are half-finished structures everywhere. Foundations you started and abandoned. Walls that stop halfway up. Frameworks that don't connect to anything. Each one represents a version of yourself you began building and then quit. The entrepreneur you started becoming before fear told you to take the safe job. The leader you were constructing before criticism convinced you to stay small. The creative you were framing before practical voices said to be realistic. Your construction site is littered with unfinished identities, not because you lacked talent or capability, but because you were building without a master plan. You were reacting instead of architecting. The two blueprints. Here's what they don't tell you in those motivational videos. Every construction site has two sets of blueprints. One is visible. It's the official plan, the one you show others, the one that looks acceptable, respectable, achievable. The default blueprint. It's designed by committee. Safety inspectors get a vote. Your parents get a vote. Your fear of failure gets veto power. And what gets built is fine, functional, forgettable. It keeps you sheltered, but it doesn't give you space to become who you're actually capable of being. Then there's the blueprint you keep hidden in the back drawer. The designed blueprint. The one sketched in moments of clarity when no one's watching. The one that makes your heart race because it's ambitious and strange and perfectly aligned with something you can't quite name but absolutely recognize. That blueprint, it's not fantasy. It's an unbuilt reality. Foundation problem. Most people try to renovate their lives while standing on the same foundation that created the problem. They add a new habit here. Attend a workshop there. Read another book on productivity or mindset or success. But they're building additions on a cracked foundation. And then they wonder why nothing holds. See, your foundation isn't your behaviors. It's your identity. It's who you believe you are at the deepest level. And if your foundation says, I'm someone who plays it safe, you can't build a life of bold moves on top of that. If your foundation says, I'm someone who needs approval, you can't construct authentic leadership. If your foundation says, I'm not ready yet, you'll spend your life preparing for a building season that never comes. Future self. Architecture doesn't start with what you do. It starts by demolishing the old foundation and pouring a new one. The architect's decision. Right now, you're standing in your construction site holding two things. The default blueprint that everyone expects you to build, and the designed blueprint that only you can see. One requires permission. The other requires courage. One gets you approval. The other gets you alignment. One keeps you safe. The other keeps you alive. Every decision you make in the next 24 hours is either reinforcing the default or constructing the design. When you say yes to something that drains you, default. When you say no to something that doesn't fit who you're becoming, design. When you silence your instinct to please someone else, default. When you speak your truth, even though your voice shakes, design. The gap between where you are and where you want to be isn't about time or resources or waiting for the right moment. It's about which blueprint you're actually following. The invitation. Your construction site has been waiting for you. Not for you to stumble into transformation by accident. Not for the universe to drop synchronicity at your feet. Not for your future self to reach back through time and pull you forward. It's waiting for you to pick up the tools and become the architect. Because here's the truth they won't tell you. Your future self doesn't exist yet. They're not calling you. They're not orchestrating anything. You're going to build them. With intention. With design. With a blueprint that aligns with who you actually are, instead of who fear told you to be. The materials are already here. The site is prepared. The design is ready. The only thing missing is an architect willing to show up and do the work. Not someday. Not when you're ready. Not when conditions are perfect. Today. With what you have. Starting with the foundation. Because your construction site won't build itself. And your designed future won't wait forever. The question isn't whether you're ready. The question is, are you willing to become the architect? Your tools are waiting. Let's build.